Hey everybody, welcome back to Is It Cape Shit? I am the leader of this merry band of misfits, let's see, what's a Thunderbolt but a Jimmy? The Jimmy Bolts? We could work on it. There's an asterisk on this name. Maybe it'll change by the end. I am Simian Jimmy, joined as always by the Weekend Warrior!
You clipped there. I don't know.
Well, at least you know it was you.
Yeah. This is I think the last Marvel thing we watched here was what, She-Hulk? And this is the first Marvel thing in a long while that didn't want to make me kill myself, so that was an accomplishment.
Wow, a female lead in a Marvel did not make Weekend... Have you overcome your misogyny? Is that...
Yeah.
You've finally grown as a man?
Character development, like the movie.
And your Suicide Squad video is almost done. So much character development. We're also joined by the Supreme King of the Treehouse Podcast. It's the Purple Colonel.
Yeah, it's I gotta concur. It's surprising. This was it's better certainly than the last one.
People want to know why you didn't want to post that delightful biography podcast about Colonel Aggie Eggsworth, the Devil of the Confederacy. Why did you make me post that?
Really, it's not that I didn't want to post it so much. It's that, in fact, I wanted to post it so much that I just wanted more people to see it and more people to experience what happened on that day. So I think it's at its best on your channel.
I thought that the calls for every politician being murdered would, get me a strike, but YouTube manually reviewed and approved it for monetization, even with the stars and bars in the thumbnail. Same can be said for when I did the Nazi flag as well. So very strange behavior from YouTube this year in regards to me.
It's the historical value they recognize here. It's good.
And somebody else who was unfairly banned and fairly unbanned from YouTube, it's Eggy Egg White.
That's right, but hi, I'm Bob. Is what I thought when I was watching this movie. That's the monkey from the end of the Jimmy Neutron show.
No, his name was Paul.
Oh, Paul?
Yeah, no. Bob, you should have gone for a minion named Bob if you want to do a Bob.
So, it's probably all that brain damage I had from being banned from YouTube. I couldn't watch all the Mr. Beast challenges for so long. I've been binging them now, so maybe that's fresh brain damage. I don't know, but it's great to be back.
Have you guys seen Top Gun Maverick? I thought I was going crazy. Why the fuck is this guy playing Bob in both movies? Are you kidding?
He's been Bob in the comics for like a decade now or whatever.
But the actor in Top Gun Maverick played a guy whose name was Bob. And now he's in this movie. He's like, yeah, I'm Bob. And I was like, what the fuck? Is this a crossover? Like, why the hell is Bob from Top Gun Maverick here introducing himself in the very same way? He's depressed because Tom Cruise died and he grew out his hair and did some meth, evidently.
I think it's a happy coincidence.
Who gets typecast as Bob?
That's a very interesting question.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Mr. Bob.
So in the live-action Minions movie, I think I know who to cast.
Oh, absolutely.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
I would like Strange
Eyes.
The Thunderbolts is a group of misfits, social outcasts, and freaks. So that's why I invited these three to join me today. Now, E-Rich is not here because he said he's going to watch this movie next week with his girlfriend, which means, quite literally, it's as if the 4 delinquent kids in class showed up, but the teacher, Mr. E-Rich, did not. And I suppose we should have that attitude. And, it's a freak-off. A real Diddy freak-off to discuss the Thunderbolts. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Oh,
I'm oiled up.
What?
Well, who has an opinion on this fine film?
I liked it.
Where's the soundboard? We need the clapping.
Classic
weekend opinion. Here we go.
Yeah, wait. Let's put some...
I got a comment this very morning, that said the soundboard is the best and worst thing to ever happen to this show.
That's true.
Discord's been around for 10 years. It's about time they implemented something that wasn't sexually deviant, so much appreciated, Discord tubes. Well, I just want to say one thing. If Bob is Bob in both this film and in Top Gun, I would like to think one day, with all the properties that Disney loves consuming and taking control of, that maybe there would be a Top Gun / Marvel movie. I think some expert piloting and stunts, would help bring a little something into the CGI verse. So.
And one of the
Wishful
big
thinking.
disappointments from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was people thought that Tom Cruise would be revealed to be the Iron Man, the Tony Stark of a different dimension, and that never happened. That's the obvious crossover, right? Tom Cruise as Iron Man and Top Gun.
He's still cranking out these stunts at like 60 years old or however old he is right now. So I think it would be wise to get some Cruise up in that thing.
Yeah, my brain is extremely Tom Cruise pilled right now because I've been binging all of Spielberg and binging all of Mission Impossible, and he did 2 with Spielberg, right close to each other as I'm watching all these. So I've watched 10 Tom Cruises in the last 3 weeks, and I'm ready to see him, fix Marvel, even though some might say this movie might have fixed Marvel a little bit. Aggie, continue.
Well, all right. Well, let's get into the movie here because I am very noob when it comes to Marvel. I think I watched the Eternals, and I know this name of the superheroes. I guess Captain America is one that we just watched that was very underwhelming.
Terrible.
And I, not particularly tuned into the continuity in the Marvel universe, but the fact that at the beginning of this film, they, or towards the beginning anyway, they allude to Captain America with Harrison Ford turning into the Red Hulk. I'm thinking to myself, damn, how fast did they make this stuff? Because it didn't seem like that was that long ago that came out, and you could have probably seen these damn near in theaters back to back.
Well, they planned it out, Aggie. It's not like they don't know what the movie before them's going to have in it.
Yeah, for somebody who's fresh on the scene, I gotta say, that's something I can respect, that they, take the time to do that. And speaking of taking the time, the setup, I think, in this movie, it's, I didn't dislike it. I was kind of probably middle of the road for maybe the first quarter or first third, but once we start getting into a little more of the complexities of the political angle, and once we start getting some of this more emotional and psychological aspects being brought in on account of Bob and this research that he was subjected to, I think those components are what elevated this film a little bit more for me as far as what I could enjoy from it.
As soon as they were in that elevator shaft and they pull out the Emperor's New Groove of let's all intertwine arms and go back to back and climb this with our legs, I knew we were in for a supreme kino, at least compared to the other Marvel slop that we usually get. That's to have a superhero movie in 2025 where none of the heroes can fly or do anything, and they have to do something like that, and 10 minutes of the movie is the horrible stress of climbing up this thing that's endless, and then figuring out, we're at the top, only one person can jump for it. I loved all of that. I loved the smaller scale, smaller stakes, smaller powers, and then to have them go up against the Marvel Superman is as extreme as you can go. And I really loved this movie. What about you? We haven't heard from Purple yet, right?
Well, honestly, I don't want to come off as a downer here, but as much as I like the movie overall, I do think the first half might have been maybe as bad as the Captain America one. It's kind of absurd. There was a lot of dialogue where it's just sort of the characters repeating their backstories from the TV shows and movies they've been in at each other, and it really dragged for me. I don't know, but then they completely turn it around by the end. So
I think that's for the benefit of people that haven't watched it.
Well, and also these characters are
yeah,
meeting
there's
each other.
elements of that.
Usually when you meet somebody, you can introduce yourself and explain yourself to them.
yeah, but you don't go around the horn and one up each other on your trauma 3 times in a row though. They do it so much.
Have you seen the Breakfast Club? I mean, I know you haven't, but usually people
No.
trapped in a room together will trauma bond, share their experiences. I don't think they're one-upping each other necessarily. I think it's you went through some shit, here's some shit I went through.
And I believe it's the second time they go through their trauma. Yelena literally says like, "Oh well, I win on my because I got the worst, saddest."
She's a
backstory."
bitch. Like whatever. Like that's her arc is to stop being a horrible cunt.
Yeah,
She's not.
exactly.
I thought she was nice.
At the beginning of the movie.
But maybe not at the start.
Yeah, that's the
She's
point.
like killing those guys, but you know.
Yeah, the very opening, it kind of had me wincing a little bit or grimacing a little bit because I'm like, oh, what am I in for? Like, hello, I'm strong Russian woman, and here's my quirky snark, and here I flip man with one finger. And like,
God, it's making me hard all over again hearing Aggie do the impression. Oh, it's so hot.
I was wondering if there were, because there's certain people out there, certain squid-like people who are, and others of his ilk who are not fond of, certain Slavic people. So I was like, oh, is this going to be, I hate to come at films in this way where I have to have the Chud brain switch on, where's the politicized angle of it. But it is what it is. It's almost like a reflexive mechanism at this point. But so it was nice that it all kind of, even with the political angles, it was more to do with just like general political corruption and deceit, which I think everybody across the entire board of various differing ideologies could appreciate.
And I don't think I've seen too many movies ever about a lead female who is depressed, and the depression has nothing to do with Chad or cock not getting fucked enough. Like it evaluates the truth about depression. It's not just sadness, it is like a void inside of you, and that this is her struggle, and the way she talks about it was very refreshing. I never thought I'd hear that in a cape shit movie. And again, what other movie has a lead female who's depressed and it's not because of a boyfriend, huh? I mean, this is phenomenal for me.
What's that test where you're not Bechdel test? Take that Bechdel test. How about that, bitch?
Florence Pugh's like other artsy movie is about her wanting to set her boyfriend on fire. Like, thank God they gave her something else to worry about. What is that movie called when the old people are jumping off the cliff?
What?
I'm sorry.
The one after Hereditary. What was that movie?
I think that's Midsummer.
Midsummer,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But it's spelled weird,
Yeah, Somar. Yeah.
It's artsy.
I'm just gonna say it. Florence Pugh better in this movie than Midsommar. Oh boo!
No, I
I
think
don't like
Florence-
my boyfriend. Oh.
Florence Pugh was still great in Oppenheimer. I think that was her best role.
Her titties are pretty good in that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Cinema.
Well, in this, she has to act through that like ridiculous accent that she's doing. It doesn't sound to me like a real Russian accent. It does sound very phony and I guess comic booky and stuff. But it is impressive that she gets so much like emotion through that and stuff. So
This just shows she's a great actress.
yeah.
Does it make sense that her and her dad, when they're alone, are speaking English to each other and not Russian?
I think so. They were living
Maybe
in
it's-
Black Widow. They showed that they lived in America for a long time together.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So they're used to it.
And they're stuck in America for after Black Widow, the movie.
Yeah.
So
And speaking
yeah,
of
speaking
just
of-
the Russianness of it, I also want to say, so her father's played by David Harbour, who, I never watched Stranger Things in any capacity, so I'm not too up on his background, but I think he played a very convincing Russian man here. He's kind of like this old, like Russian superhero that seems to be kind of gone by the wayside in the post-Soviet era. And I enjoyed the comic aspect of his character. I felt like it wasn't too me side-eyeing some kind of extra heredity humor. I feel like he played it well.
I think all
I
the
think
characters
he's-
and actors were great, except for the fucking ghost one. That was like a non-character. What were you
He's
saying?
actually not
We got
that focused when you think about it. Like she doesn't like Walker and Black Widow get a flashback with Bob, but I don't think the ghost had any like backstory or anything like that.
She was from the Ant-Man movie, right? Ant-Man
yeah,
2?
we already saw her tragic backstory in Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, Ant-Man 2. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking the way to fix that, and what they should have done for this movie, is the thing with Bob is when you touch Bob's hand, it gives you like a flash to perhaps one of the darkest, most regrettable moments of your life, and it really fucks people up. And then when he becomes like demon, dark void, black mass Superman at the end, and he's sending everybody into the dark void to experience and relive their trauma. We only get to see Florence Pugh's character. We get to see evil Captain America, like being a bad dad to his baby. Why didn't we get to see the full team, all the Thunderbolts? You know, wouldn't that be an easy, obvious way to get to know them, to see them all
Build
struggle with this
character.
shit?
I agree.
I think it actually is just down to the fact that like half of these people we've seen extensive flashbacks to all of their most traumatic stuff anyway. You know, like we're not.
But
Gonna
I
do
think every person on
Bucky's
Earth
backstory.
intentionally forgot the plot of Ant-Man 2. So you might as well remind them.
That's true. They could have done a refresher for her, you know. But yeah.
But I can't remember one line of dialogue she had. Like, all she does is disappear, reappear, shoot somebody in the face. Is that her whole character?
I kind of remember. I remember one line
Taskmaster.
when I remember one line when when Bob first died, and she's like, "Oh, he did it for us. We should go. Like, let's get the fuck out of here." Speaking of bringing up Purple Colonel's point about Taskmaster, that was extra disrespectful because the last time we saw this version of Taskmaster, Black Widow's sister, the original Black Widow, the Natasha Romanoff version, saved her, and then in like the first 15 minutes of the movie she fucking dies. That's like, and then they loot her corpse for like equipment. It's so disrespectful.
Well, does that character deserve respect? I mean, that didn't bother
No,
me. I
no,
didn't
no.
even remember
But-
them.
No.
But it's just surprising that they went there. Does that like from like the era where yes, Queen women, especially that fucking movie, that Black Widow movie, is especially guilty of that.
Well, you have one
Where
strong woman
basically-
slaying another. Yas, queen.
Yeah, it's, equality, exactly.
But I think more to my point of the other than the ghost, I think the cast and the characters were all very entertaining and agreeable to me. Aggie, I'm gonna play a game, and any of you can feel free to play along. It's a new game I invented. It's called Piece the Puzzle. I'm gonna present you with some puzzle pieces. It's your job to put them together. So the plot of the film, we have Julia Louis-Dreyfus, an Israeli Jewish woman in the working secret government ops, needs to cover up all the bad shit she's been doing because there's an investigation. So she's gonna kill all the Thunderbolts. You know, just slay them, trick them, burn them up. And who is her sidekick? Indian girl, Jewish woman, Indian sidekick. Aggie, put these pieces together.
What's happening?
You know, one thing I'll say about Julia Louis-Dreyfus is I'm going to get a little bit of context here, a little bit of something to stand on. I thought it was very interesting in the film. She has one of these like traumatic flashback moments on account of Bob's powers. And it goes back to her as being like this Hispanic child, like with her father being like, attacked by like a cartel member. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I didn't think that Julia Louis-Dreyfus was lay Hispanic. So I was talking to my Latinx friend, and she was like, "Oh my God, I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus so much. I can't wait to see her in Thunderbolts." I was like, I think she might be appropriating. And she's like, no. And we consider Julia Louis-Dreyfus an honorary Hispanic woman. So
Well, every
just thought
single
that-
person on Earth knows her from Seinfeld, and that's Jewish propaganda. So we don't need
That's
any
right.
of this Latinx redefining history. We got enough people trying to redefine history.
And now moving on to the Indian associate who handles all of Julia Luis Rodriguez's dirty work. I'm glad she was in the film. Definitely the eye candy of the movie. You know, every time she was on screen, I was definitely locked in about 10 times as much as without.
I think the only other thing I've seen her in, is, other than that horrible Coen brother movie that came out, that terrible. She was in Cock Blockers, that John Cena movie. I think she played John Cena's daughter. So, good for that chick.
What's her name?
That's right.
Geraldine Viswanathan.
Yeah, some crazy Indian shit.
Viswanathan. Yeah. Blockers, Hala, and Bad Education. Okay.
Listen, if you got a woman named Geraldine coming in the film, you already know that's going to be a positive benefit. I also, she kind of, throughout the film, kind of struck me as sort of ditzy, maybe like a useful idiot perhaps, to this much more intelligent, well-connected, possibly much more well-funded boss. But there is a point in the film where she seemingly, up to the moment, seems like she's really coming in clutch because Bob, he's figured out that this medical research they've done to him has made him something of a god. And he's like, oh yeah, why do I have to listen to what this Israeli woman is telling me to do? I could just maybe be independent and have my own sovereignty. And then thankfully the Indian woman has something called a kill switch that she, Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character has first. She gets kind of choke slammed against the wall, drops it, and thankfully the loyal associate, she comes and picks it up behind him without him noticing, flips it, and it seems like it's all good, but turns out that by pressing the kill switch, they actually activate Bob's true Giga Black Pill powers, and he starts blackpilling the entire city of New York City to death.
And let's continue unwrapping this metaphor that I think the writers intentionally put in the movie. So the Thunderbolts characters are mostly Russian, let's be honest here, folks. Bob, he's the American white man. So we have India betraying Israel to benefit the Russians to take down the American white man. Is that what is happening, Iggy?
I think that might be the most thorough.
India's gonna betray Israel to support Russia to fuck us over, what, in Ukraine?
The only thing I know that India was going to war with was Pakistan, so I don't know if we got a Pakistan allegory in here, maybe. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, which character was Pakistan in the movie, Purple?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I did notice that Bob has they make a lot of points to focus on his like fake yellow hair, which I thought was an interesting parallel to perhaps our president at the moment. So maybe India's gonna stab him in the back.
Yeah, and who was forcing Bob to dye his hair against his will? It was the Jewish
Oh my God.
controller.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I
She
didn't
thought she
think
had control over Bob, and Bob got too powerful and said, no, you don't control me anymore, Israel. Oh my God, is Bob actually Trump?
I didn't think this innocent Marvel movie had so many political layers to it.
This
Yeah,
one's
there's
more
so many
political than the
layers.
one where the president becomes the Hulk.
Oh, easily. Even without our metaphor that we've unpeeled here, it's it still definitely is, which is.
I feel
very
like
funny.
it's the fact that India is the greatest ally Israel will ever have. The fact that you cast those two as a pairing in the movie with a subordinate role. I mean, either it's a racist casting director or I'm a genius.
Is it true that Israel is India's?
Have you been on the
Israel's greatest
internet?
friend?
Oh my God,
No,
these
I-
people are everywhere.
No, yeah, but
Oh my God.
the best friends. I
Give
didn't
me a
know
new
that.
internet, please. Can we have a North American internet for fuck's sake, please? Like China does? Please.
This is the first time I've heard of it, and
Let India
hang
have
out
its
on Solo.
own internet for
Like-
fuck's sake.
No, like they're allies. Where is this coming from? Like,
Eggy, do you know the history of this?
Yeah, basically, I don't know what exactly India loves and respects so much about Israel, but if you go to any like pro-Israel Facebook or Twitter pages, you're gonna have about 90% Indian men using their full entire name and real full picture, being like, oh, "Israel is so wonderful, so good, so strong. Oh, India love Israel."
wow, really? Damn. This is the first time I've heard of it. Sorry.
Which, they all have a very good moral compass, and obviously there's only one country that can be on the right side of history, so that's my understanding of why they would do it. Two of the greatest heroes in the world coming together as one, it just makes sense.
I agree.
I think
Makes sense.
they're united in their struggles because India is dealing with Pakistan and of course Israel has Palestine and stuff. So I think that might be some of the connection here.
Two countries starting with an I versus two countries starting with a P. I mean, you got to find an ally somewhere. That's right.
Yeah, it's just down to the alphabet, the English alphabet.
So outside of my great metaphor, does anybody have any other thoughts on the movie?
I like that it's kind of like a remix or a play on the Avengers, the first Avengers movie, where they come together on the tower and and the villain gets a speech and they get their ass kicked. It's like a remix of Avengers mostly, like the end, like that Endgame part.
The dark inverse. Instead of meeting at the top of a tall tower, they meet at the bottom of a basement.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they started, if you noticed, at the end, the theme that they played for them was like a weird, dark remix of the Avengers theme.
And why are they calling it the New Avengers? I thought they were the Dark Avengers.
I don't know where these team names come from. I know Thunderbolts is named after the guy who was in Red Hulk, but you know.
Yeah, and then in this movie they say it's named after her Pee Wee soccer team, and it's a coincidence that the president at the time is named Thunderbolt Ross.
It's serendipitous, you know. But, yeah.
Is a thunderbolt even a thing?
From the comics, yeah.
Thunder is a sound. It's a lightning bolt.
Justice like lightning, thunderbolts. That's
like a Pokemon attack.
Well, you see, when I saw Thunderbolt Ross as like a nickname for a president whose name has 2 S's in it, and you're calling him Mr. Thunderbolts. I mean, I thought they were trying to call him Hitler, to be honest. I guess, unironically, I thought there was some kind of Hitler metaphor going on there.
You wouldn't be wrong. Captain America was punching Hitler, I think, on Volume 1.
I think that's too...
He hates those SS people.
They got rid of the mustache in that movie to try to hide the metaphor here.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Can Harrison Ford even grow a mustache? What a wimp. What a puny little wimpy man that guy is.
They gave him like a CGI mustache for like a flashback scene or something for a minute.
What? I forgot. Really?
Yeah. And I hope it was like a fake one they put on him physically in real life, but it kind of might have been a CGI mustache situation. So
it was reflecting a little too much light for a regular mustache.
Are you hoping that they complete the second Indiana Jones trilogy and make a 6th one?
No.
They should fucking let that lie.
On my Spielberg watch through that, evidently, Purple, you promised you were going to binge all of Spielberg to review them all with me, so I hope you're working on that.
I'll try to, yeah.
It's been a few weeks. But I'm coming up on Indiana Jones 4. Not looking forward to it. And thank God 5 was directed by somebody else, because I'm never watching that.
Yeah, 5 sucks, yeah.
Any other thoughts on Bob?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I like that they defeated Bob by hugging him instead of like killing him. Because the demon, the void, actually likes your despair. That's why violence is not an option for him. So them hugging it out kind of works. And I just don't buy that everyone hugging him will emotionally cool him down. I think only Yelena and Walker could be the guys who could cool him down with a hug, but not everyone. Like I don't think it's like, are they really that close? Like Yelena and Walker probably, but everyone, like, come on.
So I think it follows One Piece logic, where if somebody saves your life, you feel like deeply bonded to them because that's a very meaningful thing.
Nakama shit. Okay.
Actually, if one of you guys literally saved my life, like I would literally die if not for you intervening. I would probably hold you in pretty high regard, to be honest.
Yeah. They bonded in the basement and then in that limo, you know.
And what's his thing? He said he was addicted to meth in the past.
No, yeah.
He should be a heroin guy. Like, he's got long hair, he's kind of like chilled out stoner, and he's just depressed and wants to disappear and be alone. That's straight up heroin. That's not meth.
Maybe he was smoking the meth to try to be more like hyped up and try to, get some more pep in his step, but it just wasn't hitting for him.
It had to be an upper because then they can fight him as the Chicken Man at the end. So
yeah, that was
yeah.
Were you trying to say something, Weekend?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the people in the van were just the guys, but without Bob. but
Oh yeah,
fuck
they
it.
weren't in the limo.
Yeah, but I
He
just
wasn't there.
yeah, it wasn't there. But you know what? I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like it was just annoying me, but it was like, okay, for climax purposes, I get what the movie is trying to say. You can't fight your demons alone. You need people. You need the support group. Yeah. So it was like, okay.
At least they didn't say you need to get therapy. The answer was a hot chick needs to be there for you. So at least they're being realistic yet again.
Get better help.
Black pilled yet again. Guys, I want to talk about the future of Bob, because in the post-credit scene they say 14 months later, and they're doing their new Avengers shit. They're getting sued for copyright by fake black Captain America. Like, he's one to talk about stealing people's logos and shit. Fuck all the way off, Sam Wilson, you stupid fuck. And then they show Bob. Homeboy Bob has not transformed into the, what's he called, the Sentry? He has not become Dark Superman ever again. He's just hanging out at New Avengers Tower. So I think it's going to be, and I don't want to spoil anything for Eggy, so I'm not going to make this comparison, but I think, Bob, he's going to have to break out his powerful other self in a true moment of crisis in an upcoming Avengers movie. And I think this is much more interesting than the setup they had for Captain Marvel, because this is basically the new Captain Marvel, where this is the ultimate superpowered character, and if they're here, then how is there even an issue? Like, why can't she just go blow up Thanos' ship by flying through it? Oh, that's exactly what she did. This is much better, because instead of having to make up excuses for why Captain Marvel can't just save the day in 1 minute, like, oh, she's off in space doing shit, it's much better. Oh, if Bob transforms and saves the day, then we have to deal with him anyway. Like, that's much higher stakes, much more drama. Are you guys, are you picking up what I'm putting down here?
No, yeah, honestly, I'm really excited to see how fucking Doctor Doom deals with him. Some fucking asshole in a mask, They gotta come up with something cool, I think. So,
will there ever be a version of Sentry that can control himself?
I don't know. I feel like, well, that's like the logical end for his character arc, but that sort of gets rid of the most interesting thing about him.
Yeah, in the comics, there's you can see Sentry not being the Void. So I guess I think they're going with what Monkey's saying. Like, he can't activate the Sentry without activating the Void. So that's a good workaround for his powers. And like in the
ultimate
comics,
worst case
he can just
scenario.
be Sentry. Yeah.
Like, we're all fucked no matter what, so I guess we can send out Sentry, and then hopefully if he wins, we'll figure out what to do about him and give him another big hug.
Yeah, maybe the hug only works once, so...
And I like, this is basically the same idea as the Hulk, but I like it much better with, like, evil Superman. I've always loved people having to face evil Superman. There's a fun fight scene in this, up in Avengers Tower, when they have to take him on, and it's no contest. Any movie that gives me that, I'll enjoy it. Like, even that Brightbird movie that sucked, or whatever it was called, about a little kid. At least they gave me a little bit of evil Superman.
What else did I see here?
Oh, one scene that really stood out to me, I guess, was after there's a really great bit where they're saving people in New York. Like, there's a whole bunch of extras that they are coming in and rescuing, which is really refreshing, honestly, for these movies about superheroes. But there's the bit where the Red Guardian, he sees this little girl's about to be crushed by rubble, so he jumps in the way and breaks the rubble over his back to save her. And she looks up at him, and she's so happy to be alive, and then she just gets fucking sent to the void in a second. And it's so,
that's such a great moment.
shocking.
Yeah. And just to add to that, the whole sequence where the void is taking over New York City, that's fucking scary. Like the way they showed it on screen, where it's just gonna be dark forever.
I keep seeing Brain Dead takes on Twitter, oh, where the fuck is Spider-Man, huh? How come Spider-Man's... Like, dude, he got voided. Like, the entire city got voided in 10 seconds. What do you want him to do? He got voided!
Yeah, it's like he doesn't also know what the fuck's happening. He could be swinging around and it's like, oh, what's this happening?
He's probably at community college right now. Just saw the news that some shit went down. He's putting on his costume. Bam. Now I'm the fucking... They said that it was inspired by the nuclear blast silhouettes that were left behind of people who got got
Ooh.
nuked in Japan. So
God damn.
that's what happened
That
in
is-
this comic book movie.
It's scary, yeah.
I was kind of wondering, like, what happens to everyone else? Is that little girl, like, trapped in her most traumatic moment? Would Spider-Man be, like, sitting there watching fucking Aunt May die over and over again for a few hours? or
Almost
whatever?
certainly. What
Or
would
us,
the
yeah.
a 7-year-old girl's biggest regret be? Like, Sally took my doll.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's probably not too bad for her, but, like, just for most of the people in New York, they're probably seeing fucking images of their homes being blown up by aliens or whatever from that first movie.
Is
so-
that doesn't it show you something you regret though? Like something you're guilty for?
Maybe. I think it's just traumatic moments, but maybe. I don't know.
Why was
Yeah,
John
'cause I
Walker's
know-
him just sitting there with his baby and not him destroying his career, life, and reputation by brutally slaughtering a man in the street?
Oh, I
don't know.
still
That could
don't
just
get
be-
that. Go ahead, Purple. Sorry.
Oh no, that could just be the moment that like it sticks in his head. You know, he doesn't feel as guilty for killing that guy. But
Yeah, I guess that's probably one of the last moments before his wife and kid leave him.
Mhm.
I do
Isn't-
like with the
isn't his
reveal
wife
that his
black?
family left him, and then they all kind of like give him a look, and he's like, "Yeah."
Isn't his wife black? Am I miss? Did I see that correctly on screen?
I don't see color, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay, fair enough.
I only
She's
see
a unique-
ethnicity and Jewish.
She's a unique blend of American. You know, like we kind of get down with different types over here. You know, we got our own kind of thing going on. So I think nationality American is probably what's on her resume.
Mm. No, it just reminds you of the meme that racist white. Don't ask the racist white guy what race his wife is. So
Is it
that's
implied that
like-
John Walker is a racist?
and like
He's just a dick, I think.
in Twitter people didn't like Walker for the most retarded reason because he's like, oh, he killed the person of color, you know, the fucking terrorist. You mean
Yeah.
that killed his friend who was actually doing the right thing? Like these fucking idiots. Oh my god.
I said in my letterboxd review, John Walker is my Captain America, and I'm about to stand by and defend that because of the 3 theatrical Captain Americas. This is by far the most entertaining and interesting. Chris Evans is just too much of a Boy Scout, and it gets old. Like his plot in Avengers 1 was so dog shit, so awful. And then we have fake black Captain America, another terrible movie. Here we have a Captain America who tells it like it is, acts like a dick to people, bashes people's face in the street, gets his shield all bent up. He has a taco shield. Much more interesting.
He's a more honest Captain America. This is like closer to maybe the rest of the world's perception of America, I think. So
He was willing to kill them all in that elevator shaft. Like he jumps for safety and lets them all fall. What a Chad.
he had a plan, and his plan did work. So
Bob was pretty much
You gotta-
dead. It's very ironic that Bob would
Well,
later
yeah.
learn to fly.
yeah, that's pretty. Fun.
Is he the one who said what? None of us can fly, or was that Yelena?
I think it was you know.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Now, do we think, just like baby birds, that if Bob had not been gripped in the elevator shaft and been pulled to safety, that in order to basically save himself, he might have had some sort of instinctual awakening that would have allowed him to fly anyway?
Yeah, what
Probably.
awakened his powers? Getting shot by a million machine guns? Like, it seems
Yeah.
like his powers were already activated. He should have just started flying in the shaft.
He did. He gets amnesia. He didn't know he could do that. So
Yeah.
Speaking of our great politician hero, Valentina, it's got a breaking news alert on my phone that's relevant to her part in the movie. Israel calls up tens of thousands of reservists to expand war on the Gaza Strip. So, she might be over there right now as we speak.
You're telling me they're putting more Israelis in harm's way?
I believe that is the case.
But in all honesty, more Gazan children in harm's way?
And At least there'll be more online debates for people to talk about as it happens.
Yeah, you guys go watch Content Cop Part 2. This shit's never gonna fucking end. This shit,
It's disgusting.
Israel and Palestine, I don't. Is that gonna outlast our lifetime, or is this debate gonna end with Trump putting up golden statues?
No, that's
That would be
gonna
nice.
last longer than any of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
mean,
know.
if they
it
haven't
only
figured it
started
out
in
50 years ago.
1948. I mean, it's pretty recent. You can end it.
No, it's gonna keep going. They're not gonna fucking. It's sort of.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too in Israel's interest to keep it going forever. So
Yeah, they need the funds.
they need the
Country's
bad,
gotta eat,
like the
too.
bad guy.
How expensive could hummus be over there?
Probably pretty cheap.
They really need
Don't they
40
make it
billion a
there?
month.
Yeah, didn't Israel invent hummus or whatever the fuck?
I know. Hummus
I don't
was
know.
hopefully invented thousands of years before Israel existed.
Well, there are claims that it's traditional Israeli cuisine, and claims that it's traditional Palestinian food. So it's
Let them fight. Let
It was
them
made
figure
by
it
brown
out.
people living in the sand.
yeah.
That's a
Before
good-
anyone drew up like any of the borders that anyone has today. Yeah. It's a
What they
long
need to
time ago,
realize is
so.
all of them in that region, to me, they're just brown people living in sand, and I don't differentiate any of them. The fact that they're fighting all the time is nonsense to me. You're all brown people in the sand. Just hang out. Just be cool. Get a
I
camel.
think if you'd go
shield
let them
from
know,
the
I
sun.
think that could be the thing we need to finally end this
Yeah.
war. So
Maybe Simian Jimmy is the key to ending violence in the Middle East.
It's like Meowth said at the end of Pokemon, the first movie. Maybe if we focused on the things we have in common rather than the things that are different. I don't know. Maybe peace. Just
Meow
saying.
said that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he did. I don't think
Damn,
it might not be in the Japanese dub, but English,
If
they
it
put like a
nasally-
moral in there.
A nasally voiced cat with gold implanted in his forehead could, be the voice of peace that helps the Israeli state put down their arms. I think that would be poetic justice.
No, that's a sleeper agent there, Eggman, because he has gold embedded in his head. Think about it.
The fucked up thing is, they use their religion as their excuse for doing it, and I bet if the whole world became atheist overnight, they would still have an excuse for trying to take over Gaza. So, no more shielding behind your little Torah book. Just admit, you're a fucking country that wants more land. You are literally Russia invading Ukraine, and I don't know why we support one and hate the other. Get fucked. Go check out Thunderbolts. Rated PG-13.
What a great ending to the review. Yeah.
That's right.
Any final thoughts on the film?
I was gonna say fuck Israel, but it was about the movie, so.
Valentina,
Oh, Valentina. Yeah, she's a great actress.
she
having said
represents
that.
something.
I thought she was very Tulsi Gabbard. I thought that was maybe the point of reference.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Does
you're
Tulsi
right.
Gabbard have any power or influence at all?
Well, she does now as fucking.
No.
It's
She's
a
like the
similar
defense
position,
person,
I think, right?
I don't think those people do anything.
I don't know.
Marco Rubio
Well,
has
I mean,
4
yeah.
different jobs. Like, in each one is like what a
Oh,
guy's
yeah.
dream job at the top of the heaps. Like, these people don't actually do anything.
Well, the
That
thing
could be
about
true.
Tulsi Gabbard and the reason why she is Valentina in the film is they both have this streak of white or dyed hair or whatever in front. So
Sexy.
Yeah.
both have that-
Yeah, they do. Like,
I
oh,
guess I
can't-
do want to fuck them both. You're right, Aggie. You're making some points.
Right.
Yeah.
two beautiful women. I mean, listen, if we had a hot chick as the president, I think that's really the healing this country needs. I think everybody could get it behind that.
Well, why didn't
But
you
my
vote for
final-
Kamala? Oh, you said a hot chick.
Yeah. It is what it is. Get that other, get Geraldine up in here running. That's an Indian woman I can get behind.
First Indian
Geraldine.
president will also be the first woman president.
Geraldine is the key.
But as somebody who does not know much about Marvel, and I don't really know a lot of these characters' backstories beyond the couple of films that I have seen, I did really enjoy Bob, and not just because his last name is Reynolds, okay, but a drug addict, just scraping by. He's basically ready to end his life. He goes in for some magical medical treatment, just as throwing the caution to the wind. He's doing it on a whim, and it ends up making him super powered. He's still a very humble guy, realizes they're trying to take advantage of him. He starts putting belt to ass. They try to knock him out anyway. 2 women come up behind him and try to kill him even after he's the most powerful man that's ever lived. And then he says, all right, y'all gonna get black pilled now. And he's able to shoot black pills out of his hands and make people relive some uncomfortable times of their lives because they want to avoid it. They want to avoid the truth. They don't want to have to deal with what they went through. But Bo Reynolds, the black pill master, shooting black pills out of his arms, and finally a super hot babe comes up and starts, curling his hair in her finger and licking on his neck.
When do we get to that part of the movie?
I think it's implied. Anyway, then he realizes life is worth living again, and he becomes extremely successful and famous.
No, I mean, in real life, when do we get to that part?
Be whatever producer was for this film. Harvey's locked up, so it's not him, but whoever's next in line, you're good to go.
I agree. Bob is one of Marvel's greatest villains they've ever done, just because they don't have any good ones.
They got some
Or
good
they-
ones, but yeah.
Or they kill the good ones before they even do anything.
Yeah. Only good part of Black Panther, they killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or-
am, seeing this does make me excited for the future of Marvel. I'm kind of hoping that the next Avengers is mostly these guys, I guess, and Fantastic Four probably, but that'd be fun.
So what's the deal with Fantastic Four? So it takes place, like in the 50s? But then at
It
the end
takes place in another universe where
Okay,
the
'cause at the end of this
Fantastic Four are
movie,
the only
they-
superheroes.
their spaceship appears coming to Earth. So I figured they fell into
Yeah.
a time void, but you're saying they're from a different dimension.
Yeah, people are sure that they're going to come from their Fantastic Four universe because it is all 50s style, but I think it's meant to be their 2025 or whatever. But it's they're probably going to come over to the main Marvel universe and I guess help out.
So wouldn't Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom be from their universe as well? And therefore,
No one
should
has
he be
any
in this new
idea.
movie?
We really don't know. I guess hopefully he's from their universe and not from nowhere, but yeah.
I
He
think
could be
if
from
they
his own third universe.
if they make the reveal RDJ is in Fantastic Four and that's their big held back secret, that might be $1 billion movie.
They got to deal with Galactus. He's going to be like the post credits, I'm sure, but yeah. I think they might have already said that he's going to be in the post credits.
If
They
he's
might have just spoiled that.
The
like,
big
a
bad
year ago.
villain of the next Avengers, which I think is the movie after Fantastic Four. I mean, I would like it if they introduced his character in the movie before and it established him, but if they don't, that's a big mistake.
Yeah. It could be like, Thanos was not really. He was sort of introduced in like Guardians a little bit. He was in post credits in the others, but it's a little bit of that. They might do.
Weekend, any final thoughts?
I think Tulsi Gabbard's hot, and
That's
You
right.
should also watch the Thunderbolts. It's easily the best thing that Marvel has done because, which is not the high bar because every other movie they made most of the media they made after Endgame was shit. This is like a good cheeseburger. This isn't peak, but it's entertaining, and there's a good message at the end about overcoming depression and getting over that hump. So I think it's a good movie.
Just that it acknowledges depression as not sadness but emptiness. I think it deserves a lot of props to put that in a cape shit movie for kids.
Yep.
Inside Out 2, take some fucking notes with how you
Get
present this
fucked.
shit to children.
You didn't get a lot out of the moment where the orange one was moving so fast and pressing all the buttons and stuff. That was like
Orange.
relatable.
Little kids are like, is that happening inside me? Ah!
They're getting fucking terrified. Yeah.
Do you guys want to plug anything? Purple, I know what's not on the Purple Surplus channel, but what is on there?
Well, what is on there is I believe we put up another episode of something today. I don't remember. Batman probably.
Oh yeah, where's
watch
my Sunday morning Purple episode? There's nothing in my. It
It's
didn't
out.
pop up. I
That's
should have
weird,
push
but it did come
notifications
out.
for this shit. Oh, there it is. Oh, Gothic
my
Batman.
God.
Okay.
Yeah, it's based on a direct-to-DVD Batman movie from like 10 years ago. So
YouTube is
You
letting
know.
you down because I usually get a push. I got the bell turned on and everything purple.
oh damn, that's
Son of a
fucked up.
bitch. Maybe I didn't notice because I was doing this podcast while it released, but no, it did not pop up on my phone. It's pure evil. Indian Susan,
Damn.
I unforgive you. After what you saved my channel, too bad. This is a step too far.
That's right.
What are you plugging, Aggie? Also a YouTube channel?
Well, yes. Speaking of censorship of sorts, I did have one of the 200 stream archives I have on my recently unbanned channel to get a copyright takedown request, which was completely valid, and I had nothing to fight it. So I just downloaded the stream archive and re-uploaded it unlisted to Yoker 2. And I posted on my community tab about it, and on my alt account, I did not see that be posted by my channel. You'd have to like go to the channel and like scroll over to the posts to be able to see it.
And it looks like
Shadow
Purple has to
Band
take
there.
off early, so farewell, Purple. Weekend, what about you? What do you want to plug?
Tulsi Gabbard and
Oh.
Jenny Louis Dreyfus. They're still very fine for their age. So
Hey, think about it this way. Evrich wasn't here, and now that Purple's gone, it's like the teacher's assistant is gone. Now the three real stooges of the classroom can do whatever they want. Nobody's even listening to this anymore, guys. We could do or say
Yeah.
anything. We could invite the substitute teacher, Mrs. Tulsi, in, and I've seen a few pornos play out this way.
yeah, it's like my animes. So
Oh, what's this washing machine doing in the classroom? Oh, Mrs. Tulsi,
Whoa.
can you reach far into the back and get my socks that got stuck?
oh, Miss Tulsi, you're also here at my home delivering pizza. What's happening?
Times are hard even for a congresswoman or a secretary of defense or whatever the fuck you are.
She's actually the intelligence. What's that? What's her position? Oh, I know.
Hopefully
her
doggy
position.
style.
Boom.
Nah, I want to see everything. Get her on her back. Missionary.
Tulsi,
Don't want to miss out on that.
United States Director of National Intelligence. So there you go.
How old is Tulsi Gabbard?
I don't.
Like 55?
44. Damn, she's
44!
44.
Oh!
She looks
Ow!
old though. Like
That's because she's got that. She goes for the gray streak, but it's more like some extra seasoning, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, what's Julia Louise Dreyfus, like fucking 80?
Julie.
That bitch is
Louise-
old.
Yeah, she's
I don't want a threesome with them anymore. She's too old.
64.
Yeah, fuck.
She's 64.
I don't want no grandmas. Tulsi's fine. I take back what I said about. Give me Elaine, whatever her last name is, in the prime of
Pink
Seinfeld.
Elaine. Yeah, Seinfeld, Elaine. Yeah.
There we go.
I
Aggie,
agree.
do you have any dream threesomes you want to think up on this fine Thunderbolts podcast?
Well,
Who do you want in the
I-
carton with you?
I have something even better than any woman, and it's not a man. No, it's after being banned from the casino, but I did win that 1,500 last week. I just, as we were in the last 60 seconds, I got the notification that 1,500 is coming in my bank account. So that provides me more joy than any woman has in my entire life. However,
Disregard women, acquire currency.
that's right. No, I think so little about women that I don't even fantasize about them anymore.
Good.
It's sort of like
Don't let
it's
them
just
have that control over you.
That's right. It's part of my life that mentally I've been able to completely move forward from, and yeah.
Well, all those lovely lady listeners of Visit Kino, don't even bother. Aggie says the store is closed.
That's right.
You can come knocking at the door with a windy storm coming. The rain's pelting down. Aggie says we're locked for the night. I don't care if the
Well.
rapist is coming. I'm not letting you in.
Holy shit.
I think since I've lived at my, new address for the last 10, 11 months or so, I've had probably 3 or 4 women that have asked to move in with me, and I have not gone forward with any of it. So, which is honestly character development for me because the door was open for a lot of years, and with varying degrees of stability. I mean, overall though, not something that I would recommend, and something I never thought I would do. I learned from my mistakes in life, at least in one aspect. Many aspects never, but in that aspect of taking in women off the street, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, think about it this way. Gambling on your phone, you'll make $1,500. Woman moves in with you, she's probably going to make you lose $1,500. I mean, that's a bad investment.
I never knew that money could be spent so quickly and to such a degree before I had women in my life. But anyway, much love to all the ladies, though. I love you from a distance, but it ain't for me.
Weekend, are you a married man?
Sure.
Okay. Well, now that we know that you're almost 40, I'm curious if the 40-year-old virgin has a woman in his life and can relate to our antics here.
Well, I have a lady. Yep.
Lady boy, did you do the operation yourself?
No. Do you want me to be sarcastic or like?
I would love to learn a little bit about you without doxing yourself.
Yeah, I have a lady. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. So does E-Rich? He's gonna see this movie with her. Maybe, maybe we can thaw out the coldness of Aggi's icy heart, and we can all go see the next Marvel movie with a lovely woman on our arm.
That would be nice. And hopefully the Marvel movie would be fucking good. That would also be nice.
Well, the next one's Fantastic Four, and I'm a little iffy about it. I don't know. The trailers do nothing for me.
To be honest, I mean, I gotta not knowing much about the Fantastic Four, but just based on the trailer, having it have a new mother and father in the mix there. Spoiler alert, it's the trailer, so hopefully it's not spoiling you because the trailer's out there. But maybe if it's got that family angle to it, this might be the Marvel movie to take your special gal to.
To convince her to get pregnant?
That's right.
This is the fourth film incarnation of the Fantastic Four. I think there was Roger Corman, and then there was Chris Evans one, then there was Fan Four Stick, and now this one. Why is the tagline not Fantastic Four, fourth time's the charm, since the first three were so terrible?
I don't know. I think I like the Chris Evans Fantastic Four. It was fun.
Yeah, I guess I should give them a second chance since I saw them in theaters as a small child.
Well, it was alright.
So you guys agree poster should say fourth time's the charm, and then like quote underneath from Simian Jimmy, genius podcaster?
Yeah, I think that would be a good
sequel to the Chris Evans one.
Who the fuck said Purple could come back?
Yeah, why are you here, bro?
I never left.
We eulogized you.
Yeah, we did.
Well, I'm back from the
fucking
grave.
Huckleberry Finn thinks he could, or was it, who saw his own funeral? Was that him or Tom Sawyer, or was it both of them? I think it was both of them. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here, folks. Bye, Purple.
Bye, everyone.
Wow.
Oopies.
Had to end the show just because Purple came back.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like we were talking about other shit. Then why are you here?
Where'd you go, Purple? That big stinky shit had to come out?
No, I had to go real quick. Not for that.
Well, now I'm even more suspicious.
I had to put away the groceries.
That's right.
Quick.
That's fair.
And I thought you guys were already done, but you went on a bit more. So
Hey, I don't know why we kept going.